Earlier this year, I had a pretty amazing experience. I was speaking at a major HR conference. It's the kind of event where like name tags and bad coffee, the works. And I was getting ready for my talk, and I was in the green room, and I was introduced to one of the other speakers at the at the conference, who was none other than Dr. Brian Glazer, who is the Chief Talent and Learning Officer at Google. And he noticed my badge said Harvard Medical School, so he gave a puzzled look. He's like, "What are you doing here? Like, you're not in corporate." So I said, "Well, I'm a clinical psychologist and I'm giving a talk about anxiety and how it's a strength." And he paused and he gave me a smile and he said, that reminds me of something cool. And I'm like, "Pray tell." And he told me about Google's, among their three biggest innovations: Chrome, Gmail, and Maps. And he said that all three of them began and were created, if you will, in the crucible of deep uncertainty and anxiety because they involved risky bets. There was a fortune poured into Chrome, Gmail, and Maps. Can you imagine? And they had very vague outcomes and very high stakes for the company. This would either catapult them forward or others would basically take over. And the teams were very uncomfortable and they were having trouble sleeping and they had real anxiety at every step. And instead of avoiding that tension, Brian's group in talent and learning and the other supports decided to encourage them to embrace the anxiety, to lean into it, not to try to get rid of it, to make peace with the unknown that they didn't know whether any of these apps would actually take off, and to move forward anyway, to accept what they could not change and to make peace with the rest. Later that day, I actually sat in on Brian's session, who was like, he was giving a talk, and to my surprise, he actually shared the story. So I know it's a public story, which was why I was able to share it with you. And his takeaway was something amazing. He said, "Uncertainty and anxiety are not an obstacle. They are often catalysts for innovation." Catalysts for innovation. We often think of anxiety as something that gets in the way of innovation, that interrupts the process of becoming our best selves at work. The truth is, though, you can't innovate without uncertainty. There's no such thing. If you're not tense, you're not taking risks. If you're not taking risks, you're not building anything new. There's no way. The leaders who I've worked with who are the most successful, the ones also who I admire the most, not just successful because of their own luck, but successful because they're great people. They don't wait to feel calm or uncertain. They do it scared. They move forward anyway. They don't suppress their anxiety. They respect it and listen to it and move forward from that place. Anxiety shows up specifically when something matters.